It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Happy Heritage, in case our little kind of face art
Didn't give it away.
We are having a lot of fun, taking the edge off, just enjoying our heritage and our very different cultures. Languages obviously lend themselves to the different ways in which we think and which we live, which we maybe express our diversity, certainly here in South Africa. So today, family therapist and registered social worker Kim Abrams now joins us at the round table for a round table discussion about language and, most importantly, the benefits of being multilingual on this Heritage Day. And we are focusing on our little ones. Kim, welcome back.
Thank you.
Great to have you here with us. So let's talk first about what are the benefits of a child being multilingual?
I mean, the benefits are so vast, but one of the key ones is that these are children who actually, when we've studied them all over the years, they're better at problem solving, they're better at retaining things, so their memory is astounding. And they're also children who are more open-minded. So actually, when you immerse a child in another language, you organically immerse them in another culture.
That's very true.
So these children are a lot more open-minded in terms of learning about others, cultural beliefs and systems and values.
Yeah, and an appreciation for the differences that unite us.
Exactly.
And let's not forget the cool factor. It's just cool to be able to speak more languages. No, like, in all honesty, when you kind of move forward, fast forward to entering into a job market, entering into the big wide world out there, surely having that multilingual talent is a massive advantage.
It opens so many doors for a person. So, you know, especially if you are a parent whose mother tongue isn't necessarily English, you're actually doing your child such an amazing service by teaching them another language. Because now companies, they're global, they're online, they want employees who can communicate with people on a multitude of levels.
Yes.
So actually, you know, you might not have the most amazing qualifications, but if you have the ability to communicate in another language, that sets you worlds apart.
Makes you seem a lot more intelligent, let's be honest.
Absolutely. So Kim, when then is the best time to introduce a new language to your child?
This is often quite a debatable topic, but actually, the moment you start teaching your child one language, introduce the other. So from birth, you know, start communicating with your child. I think there's a myth that if you teach your child two different languages, you're going to delay their speech and language development. And that's actually very unfounded. The younger the child is, so from about 0 till 3, the more they are able to retain and absorb, you know, different sounds.
The brain is wired at that stage.
Absolutely, they are just sponges. So it gets harder from about puberty period, but I say from the moment you start introducing one language, bring in the other one.
I suppose it stands to reason because we communicate. Language is just one part, one dimension of how we communicate. The rest is tone, is body language, all of these various things. But your child is, because they don't know a language anyway, so it's not like they're translating when you're changing. They're just picking up on the communication elements of it. How would you recommend teaching your child another language if you yourself are not multilingual? This is the real challenge.
Duolingo.
Duolingo, yeah, I know. We've spoken about cell phones and kids, and now I'm lost. I don't know.
Just a little bit. 10 minutes.
There's so many practical things you can do. So it's about making it fun for the child to learn. So I say practical things is, you know, put labels on things around the house. So doors, windows, you know, cupboard doors, you put a label on and then practice that with your child. Children also, you know, especially when they are younger, learn with their fine motor skills. So using shapes and colors and teaching your child the shape and color in another language. But my favorite one is actually using music and songs. So that is an amazing tool to teach your child. And you know, songs get stuck in your head very easily, and children are just absorbing all the lyrics.
That's actually very, very true. Because I mean, right now, Phoenix's favorite song is a Xhosa song. And because he's sung it over and over and over again.
I love the repetition.
And you'll never forget it.
You know what I mean? So, beautiful thing. So let us know, are you a parent who is introducing new languages to your child? And if so, how are you doing it? How's that working out? Do you think it's a good thing? What languages would you like your child to learn? What would you love Jack to speak?
Xhosa.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, this is South Africa. If you're going to be multilingual, I mean, French is cool, Spanish is cool, but you want to broaden your South African language base.
Absolutely.
So important for me.
We'll return with Kim very shortly.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show on this Tuesday morning, not any ordinary Tuesday morning. It is Heritage Day all across South Africa, the 24th of September. And with that in mind, we are talking to registered social worker and family therapist Kim Abrams all about the importance and benefits of introducing new languages to your children, thus making them multilingual in this current state of affairs that we find ourselves in all across the world. Of course, I mean, it's without a doubt that the benefits are many. We talked about being able to work across cultures, being able to communicate, because these days, companies, when they look for employees, it's more than just technical ability, it's your ability to connect with people on a deeper level. And we know that Nelson Mandela did once say that speaking to somebody in their native tongue speaks to their heart, not just to their mind, and thus opens so many doors.
It's a sign of respect.
Absolutely.
It really is. There's something undeniable about that. I think it's great. All of us want to achieve this, and we want our children to be able to learn many languages. Are some children predisposed? Is it a genetic thing that some people, because you think, oh, well, you're a languages kind of guy, you're a humanities kind of guy, you're a, how challenging can it be to teach a child, and does it get more challenging the older or easier the older we get?
It definitely does get more challenging the older we get. And one of the most basic reasons for that is because the older we get, the more we tend to complicate things.
we judge ourselves.
Children don't mind making mistakes if they're learning another language. The younger, that's why we say the younger they are, the better. Let them get the word association incorrect. It's okay, because that's how they learn. So from about puberty onwards, it does get a little bit more difficult, but that's just because the way that we learn changes. So it's not so much as opposed to your genetic makeup, but just in terms of your brain chemistry and where you are developmentally. So that's why we say start them young and then follow it through.
Yeah. I'm one of those parents where I feel, oh, you said I could teach them more than one language? Well, let's go for 20 then.
Yeah.
Great.
That's what I was about to ask. Is there a limit to how many you can introduce? As you said, from birth is the earliest and best time to start. Is there a limit to how many languages you can teach your child?
There isn't a limit to it.
Wow.
But if you
Brain
are...
is amazing, man.
Yeah, children's brains, especially when they are babies, so under that year mark, they are incredible. And we often underestimate that. But what I would say is if there is a language that you are fluent in, so this is the key, the more fluent you are in the language, the easier it is to teach your child. So you must be very confident that you are actually teaching them the correct thing.
This is true.
Yeah, so
That's why I teach Jack Afrikaans. That's why it's my responsibility to teach him Afrikaans.
But if you've got a very good understanding of another language, then implement that in your parenting. And obviously, children are very good at doing links. So sometimes some languages sound very similar to the other, and that's why we say it's easier for them to kind of add on to their language skills.
To adjust. Would you recommend that if you are, for instance, you've got two parents who do have different language skills, for them to speak only in their respective language to the child? Or does it confuse when one person is speaking more than one language to the child?
Children don't really have anything to fall back on as a term of reference. So if you are fluctuating between different languages, you're not going to harm them developmentally.
Really?
No, but I would always say that if you let one parent focus on the language that they are fluent in other than English, and so then your child will automatically begin to learn that, okay, when I speak to this parent, I communicate with them in this
That
language.
neural pathway gets laid down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then later on in life, once they've learned the language, it's not like if said parent were now to switch back to English, they'd be like, oh, mother, you speak English.
I had you all wrong.
No such confusion.
No, because you will communicate to one another if you're in a
Yes,
relationship
yes.
in English most of the time. You know, we're making an assumption, but we're just using that language as the basis.
Wow.
So your child will pick that up, and kids are amazing at switching in terms of their language, and they eventually learn. So by the time a child's 4, they know what language to use depending on what language an adult is presenting to them.
Wow.
Any final tips of advice?
I think it's really important, if you are fluent in another language, immerse your child in that. It's about culture as well, and enabling them to develop their identity. So you're not harming your child by teaching them another language other than English. So go ahead and just educate them, and you can set them up for life.
Sure.
Baie dankie. Kim, ek waardeer dit
welcome.
baie.
Utla musima noge.